There's only one way to change your life, not one of many, not one among others. One, the only one. And today I'm going to tell you about it. But let me warn you up front, this won't be comfortable. It's not about believing in yourself, not about finding inspiration, not about creating a vision board. It's about the truth, the kind of truth you might not be ready to hear. But if you are, then listen closely. Because if you're seeking motivation, you must first break free from your own lies. First, honesty, then motivation. Because the lies you believe about yourself are stronger than any quote from Pinterest. And here's the most intriguing part. You might be doing everything right. Reading books, listening to podcasts, even waking up at 5 a.m., but if your mind harbors thoughts like, I'm not smart enough, I'll mess it up anyway, this isn't for people like me, then everything you do is like pouring water into a leaky bucket. Want to truly change your life? Then, for a moment, forget about inspirational phrases and ask yourself one question. Where am I lying to myself? Now, I'll explain how these lies form, how to recognize them, how to replace them, and how this accounts for not just 5%, but 95% of success. You think you're lazy? Maybe you're just burned out. You think you're stupid. Maybe you just haven't met someone who explains things in a way that resonates with you. You think you're not the type? Maybe you were just trying to survive in an environment where no one truly saw you. Do you know where these lies come from? They don't arrive as screams. They come as whispers. When you're 6 and someone says, well, once again, you messed up, you don't grasp the context, but your brain records, I can't handle things. When you're 9 and classmates mock you, not for who you are, but because kids can be cruel. Your brain records, I'm ridiculous, I'm shameful. When you grow up and don't get the job you hoped for, you don't think the market is tough. You think, maybe I'm not good enough. The brain doesn't distinguish between coincidence and truth. It simply repeats what it hears most often. And if you frequently heard, don't push it, what's wrong with you? You're asking for too much. Then now you say it to yourself. The brain isn't an organ of reason. It's an organ of repetition. And here's the tragedy. We grow up, and inside us lives not an adult, but a child who just wants to be good and loved. But instead of love, he received rules, boundaries, critics, comparisons, and now you live as if you constantly have to prove something to someone. Only problem is, you've forgotten to whom. Now, I'll show you what echoes in almost every person. These phrases are simple, but they're like viruses. They subtly infiltrate and block everything. Read each one. And if you feel even a slight, damn, that's me, know you're not alone. And know this isn't a diagnosis, it's a starting point. 1. I'm not enough. Smart, attractive, experienced, worthy. Choose the ending. It doesn't matter. The essence is the same. You've set a bar you don't meet. But here's the question. Who set that bar and when? Replace with, I'm growing, I'm learning, and I'm already more than I was yesterday. 2. It's too late. Too late to start. Too late to change. Too late to dream. Too late is a lie fear tells, because as long as you're alive, you have time. It's only too late if you're dead. Until then, everything is still possible. Replace with, now is the best time because it's the time I have. 3. I need to understand everything first. You're waiting for clarity, a plan, a guarantee. But life offers no guarantees. Life is a game. First, action, then understanding. You won't know if it's yours until you try. Replace with, I'll figure it out along the way. I trust in action. 4. I've already tried once, 5 times. 10. But what if you weren't ready? What if you tried with the wrong people or at the wrong time? Trying doesn't mean it won't work. It means I have experience. And that means a chance to do better. Replace with, I've already started so I can go further. 5. I mess everything up. No, you make mistakes. And only those who act make mistakes. And yes, you mess up, but not always. And the brain, loving generalizations, lied to you. You're always like this. Replace with, I've made mistakes, but I can learn. 6. Others do it better. You don't see their behind the scenes. You don't know how many times they fell. You're comparing your day 1 to their day 20. Replace with, I'm on my own path, and it has the right to be slow. 7. I don't know who I am. That's not scary. That's normal. Because a person isn't a product. They're a process. You don't have to be defined. You can be movement. You can be someone who's searching, and that is already an identity. Replace with, I'm someone seeking the truth, and that already means a lot. If you've read this far, you're already different. Now you see. And once you see, you can't unsee. And it's not always pleasant. To realize that part of your pain is a lie you repeat to yourself every day, but it also liberates. So, what now? How do you pull yourself out of the old program? 1. Catch yourself. Without guilt. Don't fight every thought, just notice. You said, well, of course I won't succeed. Pause. Right at that moment, without emotion, say, oh, hello, old program. That's the key. Because you are not your thought. You are the one who notices it, and that means you're stronger than it. 2. Apply the 3-phrase method. Replace any toxic phrase with 3 new ones. Example, I'm dumb. I'm tired, but that doesn't make me dumb. I can learn. I'm not alone. I can ask for help. Repeat 3 times. Write it down. Say it aloud. At first it'll feel silly, then natural. Then it becomes your reality. 3. Create a self-file. This is your personal folder of evidence. What goes into it? Things you're proud of. Voice notes where you sound inspired. Screenshots of support. Projects you've completed. Photos where you shine. Your favorite words, thoughts, poems, ideas. Every time it feels like you don't matter, open your self-file. That's your truth. The rest is noise. 4. Create a new name and role. You were someone told, don't stand out. Now you can choose who you want to be. Come up with a new name. Unofficially, internally. This isn't a game, it's an anchor. Examples. Architect of inner freedom. One who moves despite everything. Creator of meaning. I'm a cipher that can't be solved immediately. When you name yourself, you stop waiting for labels from others. 5. Take control of your rituals. You're not just thoughts, you're repetition. Morning. What do you watch? Who do you listen to? What do you say to yourself? Establish a morning phrase. What? Short, like a flash. Examples. Today I live not by fear, but by choice. I show up. Even if I'm afraid, I rebuild myself. Every day. Say it aloud while brushing your teeth. Yes, just like that. Discipline is love expressed through actions. 6. Fix the broken compass. When you've always lived by adapting, your inner compass gets off track. You don't know what you want. Not because there's no dream, but because you were forbidden to dream. Now we turn it back on. Ask yourself these 3 questions every day. 1. What inspires me, even by 1%? 2. What repels me? 3. What would I choose if I weren't afraid? And write. Even if you don't know. After 5 days, you'll see a pattern, and also, your truth. 7. Forgive yourself. You couldn't do better. You didn't know. You just survived. A broken system doesn't make you broken. It makes you someone who saw the cracks and started rebuilding. You wanted motivation? Here it is. You've already done the hardest part. You looked in the mirror. Without excuses, without makeup, without filters, and you stayed. You didn't run away. And that means you're not weak. You're ready. You want to. You can. And not because I believe in you, but because you've finally started to believe in yourself. Postscript. Reminders worth rereading. 1. You're not late. You're just at the beginning. 2. You're not lost. You're just in transition. 3. You're not broken. You just lived not by your truth. 4. You're not alone. You've just become yourself for the first time and haven't met your people yet. 5. You don't have to do it perfectly, just honestly. And finally, you don't have to be someone to have the right to exist. You already are. And that's enough. For love, for purpose, for life.